Well, we may find ourselves, as you see pictured on the monitor there, see the brother there? We may find ourselves being interrogated by a police officer. What do you say? What do you not say? What do you do? What do you not do? Please take a look at the demonstration here as Officer interrogates one of our humble, kind integrity keepers.
Hey, welcome to the show. My name is Jake, and thank you for joining me live or on the replay if you're watching this in the far-flung future. And we've got a really cool show today. As you saw from the intro, I got sent a recording from the Elders Training School, the Ministerial Training School. I think it's called that, KM School, Kingdom Ministry School. But basically, when somebody is promoted to being an elder, they have to go to this elder training at a Kingdom Hall. And there's a program provided by Watchtower, the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society. And it's pretty wild. And it has to do with some reporting that happened earlier this week. So let's get right into this. Because there was a report that came out of the Netherlands that is quite good. I mean, it's not good news, but it's good reporting. This from the NL Times, which is linked in the description if you would like to read the article. And shout out to Ron Pimo for circulating this on his social media, so I got a chance to see it. NL Times said this was on Thursday, December 7th, 2023, Jehovah's Witnesses expelled a member for criticizing child sex abuse policy. This comes up a lot on the channel. The Jehovah's Witnesses handling of child sexual abuse cases, their policy is to call their branch, call Watchtower's legal department first. And the branch will decide whether or not you need to report it. And big reason why some elders are removed as elders and even disfellowshipped is because they become an elder and realize, hey, wait a minute, this is kind of messed up. So the article says the Jehovah's Witnesses expelled one of their members from the church community because he criticized how the community deals with the sexual abuse of children. I don't know how to pronounce this, Trouw, Trouw. It's a Dutch newspaper. So if you want to read it in the original Deutsch, you could go there. The member involved is Bart van Gasteren from Oss. Oh boy, I should have thought to read this out loud ahead of time. Who tried to improve the position of sexual abuse victims from inside the Jehovah's Witnesses. And this is something that a lot of people, a lot of elders who try and change things from the inside are presented with. They're basically, unless you were able to magically convince the entire elder body to go with you, you're not going to accomplish anything. And even then, the circuit overseer can disfellowship you all and remove you all as elders. The Jehovah's Witnesses acknowledged that Van Gasteren was no longer a member, but denied that it had anything to do with his criticism. The religious organization did not tell GRAW why it expelled Van Gasteren. So they're like, no, it's not due to that. What is it due to? Oh, it's a secret. We're not going to tell you. The religious organization has always claimed that it encourages sexual abuse victims to file a police report. But according to critical members, there is a culture within the Jehovah's Witnesses to distract the Freudian, the secular authorities, and abuse cases are almost always handled internally. Utrecht University concluded in a study in 2020 that how the Jehovah's Witnesses handle sexual abuse is very traumatic for the victims. Yeah, I mean, like, just think about that. If the abuse victim is a minor, which they would be because we're talking about CSA, well, that can be difficult for a child to file a police report. I mean, what if the abuser is a parent? It just is completely insufficient. Reclaimed Voices, which you may have heard of if you're a viewer of this channel, an organization that represents sexual abuse victims within the Jehovah's Witnesses, called Van Gasteren's expulsion a new low. If every form of criticism is dismissed as undermining Jehovah, as in Bard's case, nothing can ever change. Spokesperson Raymond H. told the newspaper. So this is a good article, and it's important because it speaks to a systemic issue within Jehovah's Witnesses. But in addition to this, I got sent this recording. Obviously, the source will remain anonymous, but somebody who went to KM school, obviously, and recorded bits of it. And I think this recording shows that the policy of Jehovah's Witnesses is flat out not to cooperate with law enforcement. That is the policy. So if we look at let me see here. So let's look at what is it called? That not the schedule, the program. That's what it's called. The program. Oh shoot, I had it all pulled up just right. I'm sorry, I gotta pull this up here in my Finder. I have the program that elders were provided with. Basically, here's what's going to happen in school. So let me show this on the screen. Okay, student assignments. So if you're not familiar, Jehovah's Witnesses do a lot of all of their meetings for the most part involve audience participation, and sometimes they also involve demonstrations or interviews. And so a couple elders ahead of time had to prepare this reenactment, this demonstration, as they call it. And as it is described, a police officer interrogates a brother. So an elder is going to have to pretend to be a police officer, and another elder is going to have to pretend to be an elder. The performance of a lifetime. A police officer interrogates a brother. Seated at a table facing each other, the officer asks questions such as, what is your name? And where do you live? How long have you been meeting with Jehovah's Witnesses? And where are these meetings held? Who takes the lead in your church? Who gives you your orders? Are you trying to convert others to your religion? Do you collect money? And if so, what do you do with it? The brother responds in a calm and in a calm manner, and confirms that he is one of Jehovah's Witnesses. However, he does not answer all of the questions. He confidently states that Jesus is his leader and that he takes direction from the Bible. Following these questions, the officer gives the publisher a blank sheet of paper and tells him to write down the names of other witnesses. The publisher tactfully refuses to do so. Weird, very weird. So this is Mariah, you just said, and then everyone claps. You don't know how right you are about this. So it is a little scary, and it is a little kinky, because I did accidentally say the sexual authorities, which is just my dream in life. That's why I said that. I really am trying to run for the local Ohio sexual authority office. Okay, so this is something that they are training new elders. They are training them how to not cooperate with law enforcement. And an important part of this, as you will hear as we go through this, is that there are long pauses. I edited out some of them because they were truly ridiculous, and it was not clear to me just hearing the audio what was happening. So I messaged the person who sent me this, and they clarified that this part of the program is talking about in the Bible when Jesus is being put on trial. He's about to be put to death, and he does not give a reply. He does not respond. And so the whole point of this is hey, Jesus didn't respond to false accusations, so neither should you. Yes, similar to the convention video where the police knocked down the elder's door holding a paper with photos of other elders demanding to know where they are. It was supposed to be a tribulation video. So that's what's so weird about this, right? They do this sometimes, and it's sort of like a dog whistle. It's understood for members that what this is depicting is the Great Tribulation. It doesn't say that in the description that we just read. It just says that an elder is interrogated by a police officer, and the police officer has them write down the names of other Jehovah's Witnesses, which, what? Why? What would that ever be? needed for. And it's because the Great Tribulation Watchtower has this vague idea that witnesses are going to be rounded up and essentially put in concentration camps or put in prison. The video I've shown on this channel a million times of like the SWAT team knocking in the doors. So anyway, without any further ado, I guess, let's get into this. I woke up this morning just thinking that we were going to go through a Watchtower article, which I guess we're still probably going to do, but this is way more interesting. So the audio is pretty bad. I mean, this is surreptitiously recorded. So I subtitled it on the screen. There's a few parts that are unintelligible. Well,
we may find ourselves, as you see pictured on.
Hang on a second. We've got a critical error here. How am I supposed to? Why can I not do anything? I can't just like add this to the screen in small. Oh boy. Of course. There has to be weird things and technical difficulties happening. This has never happened before in the history of mankind. Okay. How is this gonna work? New layout? No. Why can't I do this? It is a demon from Watchtower. Well, let me just try and play it in a window on my computer and then pull it up. Let's see here. What if I do this? That's not what I wanted. That's the stock video that I downloaded of the guy hitting the recorder. God damn it. See, this is the Holy Spirit. They're trying to stop us from getting the truth out. No, okay. Sorry, it's always got to be something. Where is this thing? All right, so let me try doing it this way. I can share my screen. Oh, okay. Let me do this. Share video file. Aha! Okay. Sorry, I don't know why. I don't know if StreamYard updated or something weird, but it's usually very easy. I don't know why.
Well, we may find ourselves, as you see pictured on the monitor there. See the brother there?
So I don't know what's on the monitor. I'm assuming it's just a picture, but I was assured that there's nothing on the monitors during this demonstration that they do.
We may find ourselves being interrogated by a police officer. What do you say? What do you not say? What do you do? What do you not do? Let's take a look at the demonstration here as officer interrogates one of our humble, kind, integrity keepers.
Humble, kind integrity keepers. So this is how they butter up elders. This is the meeting is all about how you are an integrity keeper. You as an elder keep the integrity of Jehovah. Okay, so I have it labeled as fake officer and elder, but just for anybody watching or just tuning in, this is an elder pretending to be a police officer. This is not actually a police officer. This is not a surreptitious recording of a real interrogation.
See here, we have some conversation to have. These microphones will record it for your protection. All right, let's go over some of these.
Now, I think that this is very interesting that it starts with the information that it's going to be recorded, which is another reason why elders are supposed to be afraid of saying the wrong thing and not being honest and just being silent because, oh no, it's all being recorded. We all know how Watchtower hates secret recordings. Don't forget to like the stream. I cleaned it up a little bit. I mean, I was able to isolate the noise, but yeah, email me, Kevin, and I'll send it to you, and we'll see if we can get a better version of this. My email's in the description, because that would be great.
Questions as smoothly as possible.
What is this even about? I don't even understand why I'm here.
Asking the questions, Mr. It's up to me, making sure they go as smoothly as possible, more or less falls
should also mention it's not a very good demonstration. The guy like forgets his lines and stuff. It becomes more coherent as it goes on.
All right, let's get started here. Let's just confirm what we already know and what we have. You
I
are
was once a Trevor, same as
is
your
that
father.
correct?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I cut out a little bit here. Like he goes through the whole thing of like, is this your address? Is this the? So I cut out some of it because it was a little repetitious, and it also, I think, might have been this person's actual information. So I bleeped it all out.
You currently live at 111 Blacks Road, Southeast Hebron, Ohio.
Oh shit! God damn it! Pretend you heard that part. I thought I bleeped that.
How long have you been meeting with Jehovah's Witnesses?
Pretty much my.
Shit! I got to delete this off of TikTok. I posted it on TikTok because I thought, oh, this will be a cool thing to just release in its entirety. But oh man, the fact that it's got Ohio in it's not good.
Ohio. Good. All right. Well, and these meetings you go to, where are they held at?
So this is the elder during these silences, you know, being a humble integrity keeper and not, you know, not giving in to the temptation to be honest and say what's going on. You know, it's unclear why the hell he's being interrogated. This scenario is just, it's vague, I think, to intentionally make the imagination run wild for the elder. Like, wow, what are the reasons why I'm going to be interrogated? Satan's really out to get us.
Where are these meetings that you go to held at?
The implication is that during the Great Tribulation, which is this precursor to Armageddon, it's this time when Jehovah's Witnesses are being persecuted, that they're going to have to meet in secret. I missed this too. I'm only realizing this now, Elliot. But I think what they're saying is this is like they're meeting in basements and attics and bunkers and stuff and forests. So there's, and the government, obviously, their number one threat to peace and order is a nonviolent sect of a few 100,000 people who don't vote. I'm just assuming that the numbers are going to be whittled down by the time the Great Tribulation comes around. Yeah, I think that's literally it.
Who takes the lead in your church? Who takes the lead in your church and who gives you your orders?
We look to Jesus as our leader, and we get our direction from the Bible.
This is a lie. Like, this is just a lie. If a Jehovah's Witness, you know, I don't like to help the police officer community watching this, but I'll just tell you right now, if an elder says this, they're lying. They don't get their direction from the Bible. They get their direction from letters sent from branch headquarters. They go to their inbox on their jw.org login, and they go to their correspondence section, and they look at the letters that the branch sends them, which tells them what to do, what the protocols are. And anytime there is a new change, it's emailed to them. They don't get their leadership from the Bible. But also a jwab. I know. It's like devastating. Worst person you know, it just made a great point. It's like, oh no, whose side am I on here? But I mean, it's just completely silly.
Got it, yeah. All right, let's see here.
Oh yeah, okay. So they're portraying the officer as this bastard who's trying to sarcastically get the witness's goat, a little bit typical of a worldly person being a goat. Yeah.
Jesus.
Audience thought that was funny. Yeah, some of this I literally couldn't hear. He's sort of like under his breath muttering something sarcastic, but it's not super clear what it is.
Are you trying to convert others to your religion?
I'm willing to talk to anyone who wants to learn about the Bible.
Who is this Jesus?
Do you collect money or funds, and if so, what do you do with it?
It sounds like he says, do you collect money or change? But I couldn't quite confirm that. The only reason I knew it was money was because of the like outline that was sent, because it sounds like he says, do you think you're being funny? But no, he says, do you collect money? And if so, what do you do with it? Also, a little weird, like this is signaling to the elder that they shouldn't be asking where the money gets sent, right? Because the money, yeah, it goes to construction projects and it goes to Bethel so that they can keep the governing body in Rolexes, but it also goes to like court cases where they're paying off members of Jehovah's Witnesses whose only issue with the group is that they were abused and maybe disfellowshipped as a result of their own abuse because they were victim blamed, or you know, but they don't want elders to ask these questions. They want elders to be completely subservient. It's really disturbing. Yeah, the money goes to Jesus. Good point. We just followed Jesus. So where's the money go?
You know, no response doesn't make you innocent for your charges. You know, quite possibly, in fact, we could probably work together. If you answer these questions, things could probably go a little better for you and your family.
I'm editorializing there. Somebody's cell phone goes off.
No response. You know, you're free to take this to the next level. But the truth is, maybe you just don't know. Maybe you're not the man I should be talking to. Maybe we should save this next level question for, I think you understand where this could go. Do yourself a favor.
There's a lot of silences. There's a lot of the elder being silent between each of these, like, intimidating statements that the officer is making. Somebody said I sound like Dennis Miller. I've never heard that before.
The other witnesses.
I respectfully decline.
Brave, diligent, integrity keepers. This thing blew the fuck out of my ears when I listened to it. I had to like turn it way down, but he really slammed the table. And the audience, there's a little bit of a reaction.
How do you think we got your name? Guards! Get out of here.
That's it. I mean, and that's it. I mean, what the fuck was that? That's so weird. But I think it's important. I think it's important that we have this recording that it directly teaches elders not to comply with law enforcement and like not on anything. Oh, this is nationwide. I mean, this is a script provided by the branch for all elders schools. So like if you saw, let me see if I can share this picture again, but you can see like it's on the JW Library app. So this is something that they can literally download like a JW pub file for and put it on their app on their phone. So yeah, this is officially from the branch. It's part of some symposium called Adhering to Theocratic Order or Direction or some bullshit. You know, somebody, I see you brought up a good question, which is like, maybe the fake Bobo should just ask an ex-JW, like, what, isn't that just what's going, like the more realistic scenario is, let's say witnesses crazy fake depiction of the Great Tribulation really happens. Like, aren't the SWAT teams just going to come to the likes of us and be like, hey, so what's going on? And we'll simply point them to their publicly available information. Like, oh yeah, they've been preaching about the Great Tribulation for like a million years, and it's all on their website, how they're going to have secret meetings. And here's a video demonstrating what that's going to be like. You know, it's not a great plan of theirs if like they're putting all this out in public, that all this stuff is going to happen. But part of the Great Tribulation involves them hiding and being secret, but they're already right now being public about their secret plans. I don't know. I don't know if I'm making sense, but hey, anyway, that's that shit. I don't. That's so wild. So just let that simmer. Man, let me see if I feel really bad about the one bit of damning information. Shit. Well, you know, it's a big state. Guess I don't know. I think it's it's what it is now. It happens. Okay, so the thing that I was originally going to get into was just this magazine I remember reading when I was a kid. The Watchtower. You guys have heard of this? Heard of this magazine? I had a realization last night that I have like no idea what the Watchtowers are. Like for several years before even waking up, like I wasn't really reading the magazines. I wasn't really reading the public editions, I should say. Like obviously the study editions that you have to go over every Sunday at the meetings, I'm going to read those regardless, but the public facing magazines I never really read. I was never really comfortable placing them. I think in part, let's go to their publication section, because it almost felt like a little bit like they're trying to trick people, or like that's how it felt to me. I mean, they literally are. So, okay, Awake, number one. They now just kind of have a random assortment of magazines that they produce to be evergreen. So instead of doing monthly editions, they just have like a few editions every year. The publication is sporadic and they'll just recycle them, which is fine because even when they were printing 4 magazines a month, they were still recycling information. They just pretended like they weren't. But like this. So number 1, 2023, can our planet survive? Reasons for hope. A world in turmoil, how you can hope. Technology, your master or your servant. Well, for a couple reasons, I don't want to be placing magazines with my neighbors that talk about masters and servants. But I always felt like something like this is a little manipulative. Like I'm not, if you think about being a Jehovah's Witness and the kind of presentations we would have to give, I would be going like, hey, my name is Jake. I'm just visiting people in your neighborhood this morning to talk to something that's on a lot of people's minds. Technology. We all have technology in our pockets. But have you ever had the feeling that maybe people are too hooked on their phones? Or I don't know. I'm assuming that's what the presentation would be for this. But that's like weird. Isn't the whole point that Armageddon is coming and we need to make disciples so that people won't die? So I always felt kind of odd leaving these magazines and even the Watchtowers, which are, I think, more upfront, like mental health, help from the Bible. Okay, so that's at least from the Bible. I am aware somewhat that the Bible is involved. It's a live service. It is. They just released like patches and DLC packs to their gaming as a service model for the Watchtower magazine. Oh my god, yes. Anytime they would do a magazine on pornography, and me, a little porn viewing teen, would have to knock on an adult's door and be like, hey, just me in a suit pretending I don't look at pornography, trying to give you a magazine. So I think we should go through these because I think a lot of people who, like, even witnesses, don't really go through these. The mental health thing, I don't know. Did we go through this on a stream before? I feel like we might have, but it seems apropos. Mental health is something we gotta deal with when we leave. I have to deal with my mental health sometimes in an impatient capacity. I have to deal with this since leaving the organization. So yes, you could say it's close to my heart, this subject. Let's see what they get into. A worldwide mental health crisis. I always have a measure of anxiety, even if I'm just sitting by myself in a room. When I feel extraordinarily well, I become apprehensive. I instinctively know that what follows A high is a plunge to a moody low. I try to take it one day at a time, but sometimes several days attack me at once. Can you relate to those expressions from individuals who struggle with their mental health? Are you, or is someone you care about facing a similar struggle? Be assured that you are not alone. Many people today are affected by mental health issues, whether their own or the blah, blah, blah. Their loved ones. Okay. Fuck that. Without a doubt, we are living in critical times hard to deal with that are causing many forms of distress. Weird. Yeah, okay. One study calculated that worldwide in about one in 8 people struggles with a mental health disorder. In 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic resulted in an increase in anxiety and major depressive disorders of about 26 and 28% respectively. Why would they not cite this study? So this is what bothers me. I went down a bit of a rabbit hole recently. Maybe I should back up. Sorry, guys. Let me back up for a second. A YouTuber named H Bomber Guy, who's one of my favorite people in the world. He doesn't know that, but he is. Made this incredible video about YouTube plagiarism, a subject which is near and dear to my heart. I have been a little plagiarized since doing this channel. And since watching that, I have thought, like, I should actually check Watchtower magazines, like, for plagiarism and stuff. The last stream I did, which I've privated, or not privated, but I've, like, unlisted it just because I'm going to upload a full version of it to the channel. And just watching it and paused it to join the stream. So anyway, if you watch the last stream, which I'm going to put on the channel tomorrow, it had a lot of technical difficulties, if you can believe it. So I wanted to snip out those parts because it's actually, I think, a fun segment we did. But I brought up that I was talking to a friend, my little Pimo, who you've seen in chat sometimes. And we were talking about that. And he was like, oh, yeah, I know about Illuminati, one of the channels that is covered in this H Bomber Guy plagiarism video. Illuminati was this huge YouTuber who has now been outed as a serial plagiarist. Apparently, she made a video about Jehovah's Witnesses. And she said something in that video that was plagiarized. And it's just, we could only find the one statement, but it's really weird. It's a really weird one. Shit. Should I just find it? No, it'll derail things even further. Anyway, I might make a little video on that at some point because it is interesting. Yeah, her video did suck. It was full of misinformation. Super inaccurate. And that's because we found some of the sources that she was using and they were fucking weird and random. And yes, plagiarized. But ever since then, I've thought I should check Watchtower's sources on stuff because it's been pointed out that they will sometimes take quotes out of context. There's another good video that Todd in the Shadows did on James Somerton, who's another one of the plagiarists H. Barmer Guy covered, and he just covers some of the just wrong information that one of these YouTubers has. And it's just a matter of like copying and pasting some of this stuff. So one study calculated that worldwide 1 in 8 people struggles with a mental health disorder. Okay, so let's copy and paste this and find it. I wasn't planning on doing this, but now I'm just curious. Gonna Google. Beep, 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 beep. Let's do a Goog. I'm going somewhere with this in my ADHD rattled brain. Okay, this appears to be from the World Health Organization. 2019, 1 in every 8 people, 970 million people. Okay, but see, this is what I don't understand. Why wouldn't they just say the World Health Organization? Is it because they don't want Jehovah's Witnesses to know that their special COVID knowledge was just the knowledge of the World Health Organization? Because, like, the governing body wants to take credit for following basic like social distancing measures. I don't know. Anyway, the reason why this tangent popped up in my brain is because when I was going through Watchtower and Awake articles, I found this article in their Was It Designed series, The Gastric Brooding Frog's Reproductive System, which was incredibly cool to read about. As you can see, wait, what the fuck? Why didn't it? Okay. The gastric brooding frog's reproductive system. You can see that this frog is literally barfing out another frog. And it's crazy. And you can see the credit, Michael J. Tyler /science source. So I was interested in reading this because they talk about this frog, the Australian gastric brooding frog, thought to be extinct since 2002, has a bizarre means of reproduction. So this is wrong. Thought to be extinct since 2002. Like, it's not quite right. I checked this, and it actually was found to be extinct. They haven't been able to find a species of this since like 1982, but it was only officially declared extinct in 2002. So that was like a little bit wrong. But anyway, they directly quote a scientist, and as they call him, an evolutionist, right? Wrote scientist and evolutionist, Michael J. Tyler. A dead giveaway for if you're reading a creationist publication is if they call anybody who believes in evolution an evolutionist. Like, it's just necessary to understanding basic biology. So they quote him, right? They quote this biologist who was like the foremost expert, it turns out, in frogs in Australia and wrote a whole book about this kind of frog. So they quote him here. It is inconceivable to contemplate a slow and progressive change in its reproductive biology, wrote scientist and evolutionist Michael J. Tyler. The habit is totally effective, or it fails completely. The only plausible explanation, Tyler says, is a single huge quantum step. Some would say that such a quantum step is called creation. Why are you doing this? To once again quote H. Bomber Guy in his Tommy Tallarico video, some would say, you're saying this, you're saying it right now, but you would think that this asterisk would be the source for this quote. It isn't. It's another out of context quote from Charles Darwin. It says, in his book, Origin of Species, Charles Darwin stated, natural selection acts only by taking advantage of slight successive variations. She can never take a ... leap. Wonder what happened in those 3 dots. That seems important. But if you Google this quote, share this tab instead. Can you see it? Okay, so I'm going to post this. The habit is totally effective for false, but completely. Wait, we need quotes. We need quotes, baby. So the first result is this. DaleHusband.com. Wait, what is this? A non-theist version of one man, one woman. Oh, this might be from an XJW. This is a direct sequel to Jehovah the Homophobe. Jehovah-phobe. Jehomophobe. The reference here is the video again. So this is literally a guy quoting. This is like an XJW blog quoting this article. So that's somehow the first result for that quote. The second result is this article that we're reading right now. The third result is Reddit, somebody copying and pasting this into Debate Religion and not quoting. Oh, no, they do quote it. They quoted this from Watchtower Online Library. And then the fifth quote is from Jehovah's Witness Forum. This is also like just from a comment on a video quoting this. I guess what I'm saying is I can't find the source of this quote. And I thought, well, a good thing to do, well, let me just like look up this guy. I'll email Michael J. Tyler, this evolutionist, and see if he was quoted correctly. And it turns out he died in 2020. He died in 2020. So now I'm kind of feeling obsessive, and I think I'm going to order his book on frogs so that I can see if they quoted him accurately, and so that I can actually present his views on the evolution of this animal, because they completely take his words out of context. They don't cite whatever the full context of it is, and they take it to support a creationist argument, which undermines all of the life's work of this guy who like dedicated his life to studying frogs. So are we on board with me going down a frog rabbit hole for the purposes of science and facts and logic? I'm supportive of my idea that I just came up with. Well, folks, I think the Watchtower idea was bad. I think it was a bad idea to go and read a boring Watchtower article, but it was a good idea to get into that plagiarism thing because it was kind of fun. Let's see if that fucking Illuminati video is still up. Let's do it. Let's crowdsource some research. Okay. Illuminati, Jehovah's Witnesses. By the way, I asked Marino to download it just in case she takes it down, because she's privating all of her videos now that she's being called out for plagiarism. Let's look at this video. Let's see if we can debunk Illuminati's shitty video on Jehovah's Witnesses.
Violence. You may have seen their members knock.
So if you're unaware, by the way, Illuminati, oh no, here, boy, oh boy, whoa, hey, Falling Tower hit 1 million views on his video. Good shit, man, that's awesome. Well, congratulations. You can see my video, it's in around 10,000 views. You know, even when I'm just trying to do my own stream, Matt somehow shows up in the sidebar to trounce me. Anyway, okay. So if you don't know, Illuminati was this huge channel that had over 1 million subscribers at some point, now does not. And they always, oh, by the way, just a quick correction. That article is actually from like 2014, the one that I read, because I double checked it earlier, like the frog article on jw.org. But I don't know. I can't figure out why. That's like the height of Lloyd. That's like the height of the Lloyd content mill. And I'm surprised that he didn't. Surprised that Lloyd was lazily churning out content and didn't think to double check this and email the person. Anyway, so let's hop to this. Illuminati, big content creator, and I'm totally kidding. I hope you know I'm kidding. But good. Go back to patiently listening and playing your little video games. No, yeah, she made an MLM essentially after getting her start talking about MLMs, and basically would churn out a video, like a video essay, 30, 40 minutes in length, like 3 times a week. And it's, boy, that's impressive. How are they churning out such high quality content so quickly? And it's because it's plagiarized. She's just copying and pasting stuff into a script, using stock footage, and diarrheaing out videos. And as a result of that, she made a shitty video about Jehovah's Witnesses, and I think we should watch it so we can capitalize on the drama.
Knocking on doors to spread the word about their religion, read about them in the news, or followed their many cases in the Supreme Court throughout the years. Today, we'll be talking about Jehovah's Witness, one of the most secretive...
Immediately, I'm annoyed. Today, we're going to be talking about Jehovah's Witness. Hey, idiot, read the title of your own video. Jehovah's Witnesses. God damn it.
Religions in the world that has faced multiple controversies for their refusal to participate in the military, ban of blood transfusions, and multiple accusations of hiding sexual assault. Hello, everyone.
It's a little weird. It's kind of a weird way to word that. I wouldn't say, I mean, sexual assault, sexual abuse. I don't know. A little odd.
And welcome to the Corporate Casket. I'm the Illuminati, and today
I'm the
we will be
Illuminati.
discussing Jehovah's Witness. This
No,
episode is
stop saying Jehovah's Witness. So shitty. Here's what I have to say, though. As I think a lot of people felt this way after watching H Bomber Guy's video, is I would see people like Illuminati and be like, God damn it, how do they crank out so much stuff so quickly? How do they do that? And then you watch it and it's like, oh, because it's low effort and it's not very good. And so it makes me feel better as somebody who takes a couple weeks between videos to be like, oh, well, at least my shitty videos are mine and I didn't steal it.
contains multiple mentions of mass violence and sexual abuse. So if these are topics that may be too difficult for you to get behind, feel free to skip this
Jehovah
episode.
Witness, straight to
Now,
jail.
let's get started with the background of the religion and how they got their start.
I maybe we should also talk about this, like in terms of plagiarism. You know, there's always going to be overlap in any kind of niche. Like I was watching a video talking about the Illuminati situation. I think it was the Illuminati one from Cruel World Happy Minds, kind of like a drama recap commentary channel, and she was talking to somebody who had been had their work ripped off from Illuminati. Cruel World Happy Minds had her work ripped off. So did another person, and they were both in the anti-MLM space. And so they, like in the anti-MLM space, from what they were describing, you know, it's a lot like the XJW community. They've got Facebook groups, and they're all kind of sharing information and collaborating. And that is what it's like in the XJW sphere. Everyone is just kind of sharing everything, and we're a lot of times going to be talking about similar subjects because Jehovah's Witnesses put out new shit all the time, but it's always important to cite your sources, and if you're getting something even from like a cool comment you saw on a YouTube video or Reddit, like credit the person. Don't try and make it seem like you said it. So that's the issue here. Okay, Illuminati. Background. What is...
Charles Taze Russell was born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in 1852. Throughout
I'm going to immediately look up Charles Taze Russell's birthday. Okay, so far, 1852. Checks out.
his life, Russell was raised as a Presbyterian and Congregationalist. But by the time he turned 20 years old, he
Okay, so we're going to have to do something here. We're going to have to check for plagiarism throughout this video. Okay, if anybody wants to be like industrious in chat, try and copy and paste some of the stuff she's saying in quotes into Google and see if you can find out like if she's stealing any of it. There's one part in particular that Marino was able to find because it's like really egregiously wrong. And so I'm sure we'll find that. But just even this like basic stuff that she's saying of just giving an overview of who Charles Taze Russell is, and a lot of her other videos, that stuff was just like lifted from Wikipedia. I did not find this on Wikipedia. I think I watched enough of it or looked at enough of the like subtitles to double check it.
he left both religions. He was skeptical of Christian religious views on hell, and his skepticism only
She
increased
credited
when he met
JW.org
William
down there.
Miller, a follower of the Adventist movement who introduced him to new beliefs. With the help of William Miller and other members,
This is not quite
and
right.
he left both religions. He was skeptical of Christian religious views on hell, and his skepticism only increased when he met William Miller, a follower of the Adventist movement who introduced him to new beliefs. With the help
I don't think this is right. Hang on a second. I don't think... Let's see. Isn't it... Am I wrong? Am I just getting people confused? But I thought William Miller was the start of the Adventist movement, and it was Charles Taze Russell's like disillusionment with William Miller's failed prophecies that caused him to lose his faith in the Adventist movement. I didn't think that he actually did meet William Miller. Interesting. People are saying it's too early to put forth effort. That is fair.
Help of William
I mean,
Miller
I'm trying to
and
outsource this to the chat, so I can't say anything.
other members, Russell studied the Bible and wrote his first 2 Bible journals in 1877.
Okay. We gotta pause here. Let's do some fact checking. Yes, Ron Pimo, it's true. That's not what plagiarism is, Beta Ray. No, that's not what plagiarism is. Okay. Okay, let me grab something here. This is gonna be worth it, I swear to God. Okay. So if let's say I start my next video. Yes, thank you. You could check your source paste bin at the oh shit, good call. Good call. Okay, yeah, people are saying yeah, okay. I want to tell Beta Ray why they're wrong. Okay. Okay, Mariah, hang on. I'm going to get to you. ADHD. Let's say, for the sake of argument, I started my next video with like a smart sounding introduction. Something like, can you watch this video? Let me answer that question with another question. Did you know that the primary control method in dictatorial countries is control of the press? By controlling the information people receive, you gain control of the way they think about issues. The Watchtower Bible and Tract Society has historically promoted this personal right to investigate truth claims. But sadly, they have not practiced it. Okay, if I started my video like that, with just some stock footage of Jehovah's Witnesses, it sounds kind of smart, but it would also be me plagiarizing Crisis of Conscience, because that's the foreword to the book. So, like, talking about a subject somebody else has talked about before is not plagiarism, but you have to find a way to talk about it in a way that is in your own voice, that presents the information differently, or like synthesizes and consolidates multiple sources into one. And you have to be very open about where you're pulling things from. And I have not always been good at that. I have not always been good at like putting the source on the screen. But I feel confident in saying good about using my own words, right? Like I'm not always good at like, because most of what I'm talking about is XJW stuff. So usually it kind of goes without saying that what I'm putting on the screen is from jw.org, but I'm trying to get better about like remembering to put like, okay, what video is this from? Put that on the screen so people can double check me, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yes, William Miller died in 1849. So no, he died before Russell was born. It was him finding out about the failed prophecies of the Millerites that caused C.T. Russell to lose his faith in religion and nonetheless steal some of his ideas. Okay, so this is a good question. It's not. I feel like there isn't going to be an ask you for this, but are you wearing an I Am Knuff shirt? I am not, but I am wearing this. This is actually, it's a District West shirt, which is a gay club in Columbus. But I watched Barbie for a second time last night. It's a movie that I watched like a week or two ago. We missed it in theaters. And like, I had to sit with it. Like I liked it, but it's a lot. It's a lot, the Barbie movie. I had to sit with it and watched it again last night and loved it even more. So now I think I'm full standing the Barbie universe, the Casa Dojo house. Shit. Somebody correct me. That top looks a little low cut, sister. Natalie, mind your business. This is my body, my choice.
By 1879, Russell published his Bible journal entitled The Watchtower.
Hang on a
Adventist
second. She
movement
said another thing that
introduced
was
him to
wrong within the first 1 minute of this video.
new beliefs. With the help of William Miller and other members,
So everything she's saying is insane and wrong. It doesn't even connect grammatically with what she said before. William Miller wasn't a member of anything Charles Taze Russell ever did because he was dead. And other members of what? What is she saying? He's starting the movement. Like, this is just lazy script writing.
Russell studied the Bible and wrote his first 2 Bible journals in 1877.
Also, she already noted that Russell was raised with a belief in the Bible. So it's not like he just started studying the Bible as an adult. God damn it. What was the year she said? Because I think it's wrong.
Members, Russell studied the Bible and wrote his first 2 Bible journals in 1877.
1877 for his first 2 Bible journals. I say we go to Wikipedia's. Charles Taze. I should give money to Wikipedia. Okay. Yeah, 1852. So he was not best friends with William Miller. Or Pastor Russell was an American Unitarian Restorationist minister. 1879, Russell began publishing a monthly religious magazine, Zion's Watchtower and Herald of Christ's Presence. In 1881, he co-founded Zion's Watchtower and Tract Society. Okay, so he did start publishing the Watchtower in 1879. I think he did like something called like Herald of the Morning or something before that, didn't he? Like he wrote a couple publications with Nelson Barber first, I thought. William Henry Conley. Interesting. Wow, he married Maria Ackley, his wife, the same year he started the Watchtower Bible and Tract Study. I've had it in my mind for a while that I want to do like a pop history of Charles Taze Russell for a video one of these days. I read that after just a few months acquaintance, they didn't know each other for long before getting married. But hey, same with me and Christina. Okay. About 1870, Russell and his father established a group with a number of acquaintances to undertake an analytical study of the Bible and the origins of Christian doctrine and creed and tradition. This group, strongly influenced by the writings of Millerite Adventist ministers George Storrs and George Stetson, who are also frequently attendees, concluded that many of the primary doctrine... So she's really just summarizing Wikipedia here. Around January 1876, Russell received a copy of Nelson Barber's Herald of the Morning in the mail. Barber was an influential Adventist writer and publisher. Yeah, so she's like conflating Nelson Barber and William Miller in her video. Sorry, I know I'm going off on like a crazy tangent and I lost like 1 million people watching the video. That's okay. It was not entitled The Watchtower. It was entitled Zion's Watchtower, The Heralding of Christ's Presence. Dumb shit. Oh, sorry. I'm not sharing the correct tab. Here, I'll get that again so you can appreciate it.
Introduced him to new beliefs. With the help of William Miller and other members, Russell studied the Bible and wrote his first 2 Bible journals in 1877. By 1879, Russell published...
So that's 1877 first 2 journals.
His Bible journal entitled The Watchtower. It was here that he described his religious belief involving Armageddon, Jesus Christ's return to Earth, the religious reckoning and subsequent end of the world. He founded the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society and quickly gained followers after him.
It's so lazy. Like, that's not... If you're going to do this, the interesting thing is how different his interpretation of Armageddon was compared to what Jehovah's Witnesses believe now, compared to the group that he ultimately inspired. They've changed a significant number of his teachings.
His Bible journal was circulated en masse. His followers were
masse.
called Bible students at the time. The Bible students and Russell followed the rules and practices that prepared them for the Armageddon. Russell believed that
this seems like plagiarism, because what the fuck kind of wording is this? Let's look at this. Hang on a second. What the fuck did she say?
Circulated en masse. His followers were called the Bible students at the time. The Bible students and Russell followed the rules and practices that prepared them for the Armageddon.
For the Armageddon. I just looked it up to see if I could find a direct quote, but I couldn't. I couldn't do it. It's just weird that she said for the Armageddon. I just never hear people say it like that.
Russell believed that Armageddon would take place in 1914, and when World War I began that very same year, Bible students rejoiced and believed that it was a sign that Russell was right and Armageddon was upon them. Obviously, the world did not end, and the date was moved to 1918. And as it is 2021 and we are still able to discuss them, that prediction was also wrong. Russell was not able to see if his prediction of Armageddon in 1918 came true, since he actually passed away 2 years before the projected date. Following Russell's death in 1916, Judge J.F. Rutherford took over of the Watchtower Society and quickly altered the structure, policies, and beliefs of the organization, which
Starting to suspect this actually might be boring and not fun. We'll see. Angry keyboard noises. Hey, it's kind of like Jehovah, your God is one Jehovah. Bible grammar language can be tricky. Yeah, that's a good point. The plagiarati. No, that's true. Okay, I want to see a little bit more of this bullshit.
caused it to fragment. This new group eventually changed its name to Jehovah's Witness in 1931.
No, it says
The name
it
change
on
was
the
meant to
screen.
dis-
Now
eventually
look at
change-
this lazy bullshit. It's on the screen that she's reading.
its name to Jehovah's Witness in
It didn't change its name to Jehovah's Witness. It says Jehovah's Witnesses there. It says Jehovah's Witnesses, our new name. God damn it, Illuminati.
1931. The name change was meant to display the beliefs that Jehovah was the one true God and his followers were his witnesses. During the same time, Judge J.F. Rutherford also helped the witnesses to develop their own
You know, like, she doesn't even get into the fact that this guy was not a judge. He was just called that. Because, like, he used to be a lawyer or something. I don't know. It feels like she's missing a lot of the interesting things.
legal department and to defend members of the church if they were to face any legal issues.
Let's
due to
get
their
past the background and get to the rules. I have a feeling this is going to be wrong. Also, if she was funny and fun, she could have made it the rules, like from Fairly Odd Parents. I also, you know, I'm a little annoyed that she has a cross here, considering that's like one of the things witnesses famously don't believe in. But, okay.
First, the followers of the religion are required to remain politically neutral. According to the Jehovah's Witness website, they do not lobby, vote for political parties or candidates, run for government office, or participate in any action to change governments. This stems from the belief that humans were not made to rule over one another, and by remaining neutral, we are able to speak freely to people of all political.
See, like, this is another lazy writing thing. She should have said, by remaining neutral, they are able to speak freely. Like, she just jumped into the we, even though it doesn't make sense with what she's saying. But that would involve her having to put something in brackets, and that would be more work.
About the good news of God's kingdom. It does seem rather ironic that a religion that utilizes a hierarchical structure and has its own governing body remains politically neutral out of the belief that humans were hierarchical structure and has its own.
Why does she blur out the source of the thing that she's citing?
Own governing body remains politically neutral out of the belief that humans were not meant to rule over the other, but neither here nor there. That's just a weird little something I pointed out. An extension to this rule, they do not go to war or serve in the military. They have been conscientious objectors in every major war and in every national government that participates in a draft since their inception. They do not go to war or serve in the military for three main reasons: obedience to God, obedience to Jesus, and love.
So now she's just summarizing JW.org? This shit sucks. What a boring video. I don't think I can deal with this. It's actually too boring for me to even care if she plagiarized it. The reason why I think it would be interesting to go through this is because, she rips off people who are like smaller creators, smaller than her, that she thinks she can get away with stealing. And so she probably wouldn't have stolen from like Lloyd or even me, like where word would easily get back to them. Although I don't know. I mean, when she made this video in 2021, was I making videos? I don't know. But I don't know. If you're a small creator on this platform, watch this video and see if she stole your stuff. I'm getting too bored. I'm getting too bored watching this. But it sucks. At one point, she says something like there are only 8,000 slots open in the 144,000. And we were like, what the fuck? Where'd she get that? Yeah, the massive error thing was about the 144,000. And so we Googled it, and it's like from a funeral website. She like copied and pasted it from a funeral website. It's really wild. Anyway, I want to Jenny Bloom fact checks me and says I was making vids. Okay, there we go. So we still have some time together, friends, countrymen. We started with the heat. We couldn't sustain it. I'm sorry. When you start with a secret recording of an elders meeting, what are you going to do? But I do want to. I want to do two things. I want to watch. Let's watch a video. Let's watch a video on jw.org. And I also want to, I think, play a video that I made for my Patreon, just as a little preview for folks so they can enjoy it. It's a mean comment thing. I want to watch this, but my pact with you, the viewer, is that I find the songs really triggering. I find it to be the hardest thing to deal with in some ways when it comes to like going through pulling clips for videos and stuff. Like even when I'm just pulling clips, I will mute the songs because it just, I don't know, something about it pulls me into a bad place. So I think we should watch this because their stuff for kids is really fucked up. And the JW Kid songs are very unbearable. I had to play a little bit of his song in the last video I made because it was about giving money. And it like showed a woman like donating on jw.org. And even then, I tried to make it funny and edit the voice so it wasn't too triggering. Accordion. I don't know how to play the accordion.
Life everlasting is
No. That even that, I will now know the song. It started and I was like, wow, do I even still know the melody? And then I saw that. Okay, so what is this? This is Paradise, right? They're showing us Paradise. And this is the dreams of Jehovah's Witnesses everywhere. So, a lot of kids, they think about what they want to be when they grow up. Well, that's already sorted out for you when you're a kid as a Jehovah's Witness, because it's like, well, I'll be a pioneer or an elder, or I'll go to Bethel. Those are the three things I could be. And then in the new system, I'll be an elder or work construction or go to Bethel or be a pioneer in the new system. But I will also have time for my hobbies. And so what this is kids dreaming about the paradise earth that is going to come into place after Armageddon, after all the non-specials, all the non-JWs are killed. The earth will be a paradise, and kids will get to play with the wild animals because they'll be nice now and they won't bite you or each other. They'll eat straw because that's how anatomy works for animals. So you'll get to ride a bear, and even a bear will get to ride another bear. What's going on there? It's just a bear riding a smaller bear. Wow. Wow. We got a lot of animals here. We got a raccoon and I don't know. What kind of bird is this? Cockatiel? I don't know anything about birds. They scare me, so I try not to learn about them. Here, let's just hear 1 second music.
This grand
Yeah, there you go. They're still singing. Ah, a plant. And they don't have to worry, by the way. You're like, where are their parents? Nowhere. Don't worry about it. They're safe. There's no crime anymore. They don't have to worry about all these scary pedophiles running around Jehovah's Witness congregations because they're in paradise now. This is how you know it's a fantasy, is the cat loyally following the the pet owner without a leash. It is a little weird to watch without music. Ah, okay. So this is school. They are acknowledging the existence of the planet, other planets in Paradise Earth. And you will also notice a bearded man. A very weird thing they do that I've noticed is in the Paradise videos where they depict Paradise, there's going to be this resurrection. Dead people, dead Bible characters will come back to life. Your dead loved ones will come back to life. It'll all happen very seamlessly, probably in a gazebo. Don't worry about it. But the Bible characters always come back looking the exact same way they do in the Watchtower publications. So they all are white people with beards wearing, flowy gowns and stuff. But only they are allowed to have beards. Like Bible characters who were resurrected, they are allowed to have beards, but like New World Jehovah's Witnesses are not able to have beards. It's very strange. All right. We get it. You're learning with Moses or whoever. Great. So this is them learning about Daniel's prophecy. They think that this statue is like the fucking world empires, and they keep getting crushed. And so she's mimicking a meteor coming to destroy the statue. It's a whole thing. I legitimately don't remember why this is important. I take that as a point of pride that I don't remember the significance of the fucking statue. I know it represents, I don't know, world empires or something. Beards are cool in the paradise, just not in this world. Yeah, exactly. Oh, they're going to rename the planet. Yeah, I've muted the triggering music. Well, this just makes me sad that my cat doesn't do this. Planets being renamed. Yeah, that's right. Oh no, I'm getting slow and glitchy. At least it looks that way on my ends. Getting a little glitchy, but yeah, didn't we talk about this like on a stream? How they're like, won't it be so great in paradise when we could do away with all these terrible satanic names of the planets that give honor to false gods like Jupiter and Saturn? Very weird. Oh yeah, good catch. They have tablets. It looks like he's holding up like an iPad. Well, Jehovah's Witnesses are going to seize the means of production. I don't know what to tell you. They're going to seize the means of production in paradise. And teach the Bible character. Okay, well, this is obviously David. He's going to write songs in paradise. We talked about this in one of the rebuttals we did to, I think, like last year's convention. So like the 2022 convention. Like, what if David was a bad songwriter? We just don't know. But they envision like, no, he was obviously an amazing songwriter in Bible times, and he's going to write us the hot new tracks in the new system. Like he's going to be dropping singles My single is dropping. It's dropping. All right, let's hear a little bit of David. Ding, 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 ding. She's playing the recorder because that's, for some reason, when you're a kid, you have to play the recorder first. You bang on your grandmother's piano and adults tell you, no, stop it. And then you go to school and they're like, it's time for music class. Here's a recorder. And then you will never see this instrument after you're done with school ever again, unless you're in the band Belle and Sebastian. Weird. I don't know what that is. Oh, happy monkeys that we didn't descend from. We didn't descend from apes. They're our current friends in paradise. I like that they have a crown of roses, like Christ our Lord. That was a crown of thorns, I guess. Ah, sleeping with tigers. A thing that would be safe for kids to do. I had a real problem as a witness squaring the circle because I always believed in evolution. I always had a hard time accepting the fact that none of that was true. And I had a really hard time accepting the fact that, well, wait a minute. Tigers and lions have sharp teeth. They are clearly designed, if we must use that term, to be killing machines. They have sharp claws that allow them, to rip apart the innards of their prey. They're just, everything about them is designed to kill. It doesn't make any sense that they'd be able to survive on straw. I mean, it just, I don't know. I had a real hard time imagining that you would actually be able to have a pet tiger in the new system. You'll be able to swim with jellyfish. We watched the movie Sphere last night. There was some swimming with jellyfish in that movie that did not go well. It was not paradise, I can tell you that. Here, I'll just make it really quiet. Look at this sneaky, sassy whale. And these dumb kids with their snorkels underwater, hey man, you can't breathe if this part of the snorkel is under the water. Oh. Part of your desire for paradise is just eating peanut butter sandwiches. Maybe are they implying that she's allergic to peanuts now, so she'll be able to eat them in paradise? I don't know. They are saying that they'll have chocolate in paradise. I guess that's natural. Bees and honey are natural. It almost seems like they're saying these are natural foods that we'll be able to have in paradise. But these seem to be depicting cheeseburgers, so I don't know. It's an open question as to whether or not they're gonna eat meat in paradise. They used to insist, the old publications insisted that it would be vegan in paradise, which makes a certain amount of sense. But then I don't know. God gave Noah the ability to eat animals. It's very strange. Ah, the resurrected lady from the Bible. One of the many unnamed women. Ah. Now this is interesting. The kid still has a novelty hat. Who made this? Who made this hat? Who made this backpack? Who made his khakis? Who's making this? Are they going to own textile factories? Is everything going to be handmade witness Etsy shops? I don't know. This is what they imagine. They just imagine that all of your days are going to be exploring. Well, these people live in the Ewok village by way of Frank Lloyd Wright. A big part of paradise is campfires with Bible characters. It's so weird that they would keep those clothes. I think they're just doing it for kind of the simple. Oh shit. Lost my camera? Can you still hear me? Oh no. Let's see. I wonder if I reset this. Oh man. Yeah. It's all gone haywire, folks. It's all gone cattywampus. Well, here, come back. Life everlasting is promised.
His word will come true.
Okay. Well, I guess that was it. I don't know why I decided to reset everything for the last 30 seconds. Well, people are saying they can hear me but not see me. That works out just fine. I'm going to close out today's stream by presenting, assuming you can still hear me, a fun little... Damn, it still doesn't work. Ah! This is my webcam, like, on my MacBook. It looks like absolute dog shit. Well, hey, I'm going to show y'all a little video I made for my Patreon. If you liked the mean comments video I made, you can watch this, and there's more fun stuff on Patreon. But thank you for joining. We had such a good time. That recording was crazy. We took a lot of tangents after that, but boy, it was all worth it for that opening segment. I mean, we'll always have that. We'll always have that first half hour, won't we, folks? That's not going anywhere. So here we go. Enjoy. It's a total do-over. I guess we'll just have to start from square one. But here, enjoy some JWs being mean at me. I'd like to read some mean comments that Jehovah's Witnesses have left me on youtube.com. We're going to start with just some quick hitters. There's some that I like to respond to, but there are also some that, what can you say? If someone just comes up to me and says, hey, you fucking suck, I'm not going to say, hey, explain yourself. Give me 3 reasons why I suck right now. Like, I think, that person just want to spread hate. Who am I to stop them? You are a waste of space and air. I can't really say anything about that. Evolution is defeated. You are all apostate. The truth will prove itself. Jehovah's name will never die. And last quick hitter, your journey towards becoming a woman is progressing admirably. I guess I don't actually know if that's a Jehovah's Witness or just a random person on the internet who's like, I guess transphobic. Like, I'm not trans, but I think that's what they're going for, is insinuating that I am and that I would be insulted. But joke's on them. I wanted to serve some femboy vibes with that long hair. Sounds like goddamn succeeded. There are 2 or 3 that I'd really like to share with you from the bottom of my heart / the bottom of my little folder where I keep funny screenshots of comments. Okay, so important context for this one is that it's on my Satan Makes No Sense video, which is still like one of my favorite videos, by the way. Satan is not chilling. Okay, well, I immediately should give some context. My larger point in the video is just that Satan doesn't make a lot of sense per Jehovah's Witness mythology. Like, what is Satan doing all the time? It seems like a lot of times he's just chilling and bad stuff happens and he gets all the credit. Like, I think I probably said something like that, but Satan is not chilling is a great way to start a comment. Satan is not chilling. Although man has free will, Satan has dominion over this world, and he is creating all kinds of temptation for us. He wants us all to be destroyed with him because he wants to hurt God, and God loves us so much. Satan wants to hurt God. When we choose sin, we choose Satan. Satan does control the world's governments. His marching soldiers are Freemasons. This took a turn. Presidents are selected, not elected, you muck, but it's all true. There's so much. I should read these carefully before just reading them, because I just realized this is not necessarily a JW. In fact, it's probably an ex-JW who now is just this conspiratorial Freemason. It's sort of like the horseshoe theory of cult deconstruction. If I understand what horseshoe theory even is, I think horseshoe theory is like, if you go to the extreme, because you know how like a horseshoe is like this and it's kind of close at the top U part. I'm not going to do this because first of all, I apparently can't even describe what a horseshoe looks like. Some people's experience with Jehovah's Witnesses is apparently,
wow, that group wasn't true. But thankfully, all that stuff about Satan ruling the world, that part's real. Don't have to question that part.
I think a lot of people, maybe they retain a belief in God, maybe they don't, but they start to go down this conspiracy rabbit hole. I think for a lot of people, when they hear about the database that Jehovah's Witnesses have, which we've actually seen bits of in different court cases, and you can see pictures of it. So it's not like some speculative thing. That sounds like a conspiracy, though, doesn't it? Like a religion that has a secret database of pedophiles. Sorry, I burped, which is what happens when I get emotional. That sounds like a conspiracy, the secret database of pedophiles. And wouldn't you know it, a lot of conspiracy theories center around secret pedophile rings. Like it's obviously the heart of QAnon and New World Order theories. And wrapped up in all that stuff are the Freemasons. But at some point, conspiracies don't make any logical sense. You essentially have to believe that everyone is in on it, whatever it is. And when science disagrees with you, you just say, oh, well, it's because a lot of these scientists, they're in on it. This is what the majority of doctors are saying, and it disagrees with what I'm saying. Well, that means the majority of doctors are in on it too, because they rule everything. When your conspiracy doesn't hold up, there is always one thing you can go to glue everything together, and that is Satan, because Satan is invisible. And doesn't it just feel true that there's just some evil force out there that makes all the bad people do all the bad things? The amount of people who leave Jehovah's Witnesses and essentially believe absolutely everything that they do socially and ideologically, and the only thing that they just don't agree on is that Watchtower is the one true organization, makes me really sad and angry and confused, and yeah, I'll say it, sexually charged. You know, I'm ready to go. Now, I don't know. I'm really struggling. This is minute 34, and I think I only started saying usable footage about 5 minutes ago. Didn't expect to talk so long on this. I only want these videos to be like 5 minutes long. Ooh, this is exciting because we have a recurring character. I don't remember everything about that Mean Comments video, but I remember a guy named Jean Collage. Jean Collage is back, baby, with 2 comments, but I only got one of them really in the screenshot. It says, Jesus taught his followers only one religion, the true religion. It is like a road leading to everlasting. Oh, hang on a second. Now I remember John Clyde. I remember his fucking bullshit, because I've done this stuff too when I was a witness, where you're like, well, I don't want to say the wrong thing, but if I copy and paste it from the website, it's sort of like I'm not even the one saying it. I'm just happening to post stuff from the magazines on a forum, and they should be reading it anyway. That's all this guy does. So I don't know what Jean Collage is doing with his life, or what he will do with his life now that witnesses aren't counting service time. Woo, I hadn't thought about that. Woo. Is that going to affect the number of witness comments I get on my channel? Because a good bit of speculation that I've seen is that witnesses do this so that they can count their service time. I think that makes sense. And if they're not counting time anymore, well, now we'll know. If people watch it and comment, we'll know that it's not service time. It's just because they love my content or are confused and experiencing cognitive dissonance and acting out in ways that we don't fully understand. We'll all have a big laugh with John Collage in like 2 years when he emails me and is like, I was the guy you made fun of in a video. That's never going to happen. I don't know. John Collage, I try to hold out hope for everybody, but I don't know if I have much hope for John Collage. This is another good one that reminds me of the one from the last video where I looked like I just rolled out of a tub of dirt and onto the camera like in a wife beater, which we got to think of another word for that. Tank top. I don't know words for clothes. I need bisexual lessons. If anyone wants to tutor me, please. Anyway, this is one where you're like, I don't know what to say to this. A grifter, huh? Okay, this is on the fake evidence of JW Broadcasting. I used the term grift in this, and I probably shouldn't have. I think I just used it because it's such common internet parlance, but it's not. It probably isn't accurate. A grifter, huh? I thought we were part of a cult, not of a grifters organization. You believe that the media and the videos by the JW organization is a way of getting people's confidence so they send all their money? With that said, how do you think the JW organization manages to print and distribute billions of Bible-based literature and Bibles worldwide? Do you know how to do that without money? Like they did like the classic sketch thing where they're like, let me get this straight. And then they outlined the crazy scenario that is the entire comedic premise. They're like, let me get this straight. You believe that the media and the videos by the JW organization is a way of getting people's confidence so that they send all their money? And like, yeah, I do kind of think that a little bit. I don't think that their goal is only to do that. Their goal, yes, is to gain confidence so that you don't trust any other source of information. And so that if you are going to be giving money charitably anywhere, well, give it to the only charity worth giving to on the whole goddamn planet. And hey, you get all your money from Jehovah. So really, you should give all your money back to him through his bankers, the governing body. They just, they just filter it on up. It's like this. This is how they pass it to God. They just pass it to God like this. This is actually a solid little bit. I should have saved this for a main channel video. God damn it, patrons. Getting good content out of me on accident. But yeah, this is the tricky thing when talking about people like, oh, you're saying it's all about the money? Like, why can't it be about more than one thing? Like, I think that the Mother God lady from that great HBO series that I was obsessed with, if you haven't seen, I don't remember, it's not called Mother God. Mother God is what the cult leader calls herself. And Mother God is part of the title, but it's called like Love Always Wins, some bullshit, some like generic name of a spiritualist group, but the preacher is Mother God. I tend to think that Mother God really does think that she's Mother God in some sense. Do I also think that she really likes getting a bunch of money and having people wait on her hand and foot and give her free alcohol day in and day out? Yeah, I think that's probably a big part of it too. How much of either of those things is the cult leader conscious of? I don't really know. All I know is fucking governing body putting out a lot of videos about sending money, and I haven't seen God ask for any money ever in my whole life. Not even one time has God asked me for money. So until I see some proof, I think it's just those guys asking for money, and they don't really give it to God. I think that they use it to make videos and build buildings, especially buildings that they live in, and they can staff people who will give them free food and clothes and health benefits, and they will get to travel to any wonderful location in the world that they want on the membership's dime. Is it all about the money? No. But do they sometimes make videos where they're literally just like, hey, give us your money? Yeah, they do. So anyway, that's one that I didn't respond to, but those were all fun, and I got more, but I can't for this. I got to save some. So thank you for watching, and goodbye.